Hey everybody, it's Ryan, Father Rich, and Ryan from the Catholic Talk Show. Father Rich and I are going on an expedition. We are really excited about it. It's going to be in Pagosa Springs from June 9th through the 13th. We're already halfway booked up. We're looking for 10 more guys to come with us. It's going to be an amazing trip. Father can speak to a lot of the spiritual side of it, but I'll give you a little outline of what we're doing. It's called Estovere Expeditions. You can go to the website www.estovereexpeditions.com. There you'll see a little bit about the trip and the itinerary and everything there. Basically, Pagosa Springs is this hidden gem in Colorado. It's so beautiful. We're going to go hiking. We're going to go fly fishing. We're going to go rafting. We're going to be enjoying some hot springs. I'm meeting with a chef tomorrow that's going to be coming on the trip to cook some local foods there. And we've got a brewery getting involved. It's just going to be an amazing trip. There's one thing that I've learned, and one of the reasons why we started Estrovere, Father Rich and myself, is that we ourselves went on expeditions together just as friends. And we realized just how much it's needed for men to just reconnect with nature, our faith, fraternity. These things are so important in our lives. We get really busy in our daily lives, and to be really just kind of taken away from everything and just connect on a very, very fundamental level with other brothers, with our faith and with high adventure. Man, I tell you, it's just an amazing experience. So this is going to be our first year. I'll let Father Rich talk a little bit about his experience on our expedition and why we're starting that, but we'd really love to have you join us. It's estovereexpeditions.com.
And, I think DellaCrosse just really touched on the fact that spiritually speaking, we need to be reproved and renewed in our masculinity and the call to be men of prayer. St. Vincent de Paul expressed that a man of prayer is capable of everything. And reinforcing our prayer life and our solidarity and the roles and responsibilities our vocations call us to, we need to be able to help each other grow in our masculinity. And utilizing times of prayer and expedition has always, always, always helped me along the way. And I have to share, Ryan DellaCrosse has been such a huge support to my priestly ministry and my identity as a priest and father spiritually. And our expeditions that have led us hunting and fishing and times where we could just get together with other guys to pray and celebrate mass and to grow in testimony for one another, to share our faith with one another is one of the most incredible gifts that I've personally received. And we want to share that with you. So if you know anybody out there that would benefit from an expedition that is rooted in the masculine identity that God is calling us to, that would be a perfect fit for this trip, this is our first of many to come. I know when I was going through my ministry for Ave Maria University, we set up men's mountaineering trips, and we had over 40 guys go up into the mountains and hike. And it was a discipline that I certainly remember just like it was yesterday. And some of those conversations along those hiking trails have marked friendship for a lifetime. So I'm looking forward to that myself, and the spirituality that comes from just getting into nature and sharing the prayerful journey of life together.
Yeah, and so I'll give you a little bit of a outline or an itinerary right now. Basically, with obviously weather, the amount of snow that's amassed, with rainwater, there's a lot of different variables. But right now, the itinerary is we're going to fly into Durango, Colorado. Father Rich and I are going to be driving two different vans. We're going to pick up. We're going to go to our lake house on Lake Hatcher in Pagosa Springs. It's a very beautiful setting. The 20 of us are going to be able to sit out on the deck overlooking a mountain and a lake and have a beautiful catered dinner. We're all going to get to know each other. There'll be time for confession, maybe some evening prayer. We'll wake up early in the morning and we're going to do some acclimation hiking. So what that means is we're going to be hiking at a lower altitude, about 7,400 feet. So that way, a lot of the people who might not be as in shape as Father Richard, or or just have trouble with altitude, we're going to do a beautiful hike through the San Pedro Trail. It is so beautiful. And we'll just be, again, talking, getting to know each other. We're going to have a box lunch we'll be taking with us. After we do that, we'll go see a couple falls, go back, and we'll go to the hot springs in downtown Pagosa Springs. It's a really, really cool setting, the deepest hot springs in the country, I think, and maybe the world, if I'm not mistaken. Then we'll go back and have dinner. The next morning, we're going to wake up and do a full day rafting trip. We don't know exactly where we're going yet, but there's probably about 8 different places that we can go that are really beautiful. My goal is to get class 3 and 4 rapids, obviously with the snow melt and all the godly things that would be involved in his providence. We'll be selecting one. We're going to take different boats together. We'll have a boat behind us with food and materials. It's going to be an all-day rafting trip through the most amazing scenery. So we'll have a lot of fun doing that. It's going to be rigorous, and then the next that evening we're going to go either to the hot springs or just go back and relax, depending on how everybody feels. We may split up. The next day we're going to do one of two things. We're either going to fly fish and have a fly fish open tournament with a trophy. Like, this is bragging rights. This is going to be a big deal. So we're going to do a fly fishing tournament if the weather and the snow melt calls for it, or we're going to hike a peak summit at the Pagosa Peak, which is about 14,000 feet. So this is a very rigorous thing. If you don't get up to the top, you stop and you just wait till we get back down, and then we take you back to the van. So this is going to be very enduring. It's going to be physically, spiritually, mentally challenging. It's going to be fun. It's going to be rewarding and faith-filled. It's just an amazing trip that we put together. And we're doing this one trip this year. Next year, we're going to do probably 2 or 3. We're going to bring in other priests and build this thing out to where, hopefully we'll have a lot of men growing in their faith and in their masculinity on these expeditions. But this year, we're just doing one. We've got about 10 spots left, I think, 5 to 10 spots left. So we hope you can join us on it. And Father Rich, you want to say anything in closing?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for you to consider. So if you're sitting there on the fence about this trip, this is going to be the first, and this is going to be an epic one for sure. I already anticipate just great outcomes from this. And the hope is that forging together a brotherhood, that's just unbreakable. And my hope is that as we develop this program of masculinity and our fellowship, we can really journey together and draw strength from one another. When we come on a trip like this, we return to our wives, to our families, to our vocations, to the priesthood, to my parish, renewed. And that's our hope. I know for me, I've been a priest now for 8 years. The first 5 years were a blur. And a lot of times for priests specifically, we lose a sense of leisure. And I think that happens even in married life. And we need to be able to get into leisure, to renew our masculinity. So we're returning to me, the bride of Christ, so I could minister to her with greater energy, as well as for our brothers that are married or maybe in a process of searching or discerning. This is a great, great trip for you. So be sure to check out Estovir Expeditions today. And I'm telling you, I feel very positive about this.
Yeah, and just last housekeeping things is the deadline is going to be in early May. So you've got a little bit of time to talk to your wife or to talk to your parish if you're a priest. So the end is May 9th, May 10th, somewhere around that range. I'll get that to you guys soon. I'm trying to book a lot of the events that are going to be happening. So again, Estovir Expeditions. Join us on our flagship, our first expedition as a ministry, and I really hope you can join us. It's going to be exciting, and God bless you. From the Catholic Talk Show, from Ryan, and Father Rich, we love you.